What's happening, y'all? DHR2 Productions back with another video. So, YouTube has been down since a few minutes ago, and I really don't know what's going on with their platforms, but what I can tell y'all is that it is back on, so you don't have to worry about, resending your phones and clearing out your storage on your YouTube app. Everything is back on, everything is back on track. But we get some, I don't know if listen, I don't know if I want to call it sad news for the upcoming MK reboot, but I think something tells me it's going to be end up being postponed due to the pandemic. So everybody, just needs time to get everything together and make it right. It's still being in production, but they just wanted to make sure that everyone is safe. So let's hop into the video.
About Mortal Kombat, and it's mostly bad news.
Oh boy.
But yeah, we'll get to that after the intro.
Hold on, let me fix.
Chances are that if, like me, you find yourself a big Mortal Kombat fan, you were very excited for the upcoming reboot on film. Now, we know previously that they said earlier in the summer we were going to get our first trailer, because at that time, the actual film was still due out in early 2021. Now, unfortunately, this is where the bad news comes in, because the film has been shelved indefinitely, along with the actual trailer. So when we can expect our first look is being said by the actual people that are involved with the franchise to be more expected along the lines of when theaters get back to normal. So realistically, we could be years away from seeing this upcoming reboot.
I really don't think movie theaters should even open back up. I mean, why not just release it on Netflix or streaming platforms? That's the only way for them, or people. Well, listen, instead of releasing it in theaters, I would rather for them to release it on Netflix, because that's the only way people can see, watch, and review the movie, instead of just going into theaters, because we're in the middle of the pandemic. So that can easily be a good idea.
Now, I find myself really sort of indifferent about this. Like, yes, I want this reboot to come out, so hopefully it can do, great numbers and start a brand new franchise and make more people aware of Mortal Kombat, maybe expand onto HBO with series or something, because we know they're looking at Mortal Kombat as a big franchise starter. But at the same time, we're in that position where we haven't really had anything from this movie make it to the actual masses, so they don't need to feel the pressure to put it out right away. And since they wrapped shooting everything and they were heavy in post-production, they got time to maybe tweak a few things here and there and sit on the movie and then eventually release it when the time is right, which honestly seems like it's a better position to be in than most of these other films which find themselves already advertising or were advertising heavily and had to delay multiple times, like Wonder Woman 1984 and Black Widow. So while, yeah, it's unfortunate the film's delayed, honestly look at this as something that could ultimately be good, right? Maybe by the time the franchise actually releases the film in theaters, people will have that hunger again. And who really knows? People just go because they're like, look, new Mortal Kombat, all right, theaters are open again, let's go every weekend. This could actually be beneficial. Or maybe if things go a different way and they end up selling it to some streaming service, or HBO Max gets it. Who knows what WB is planning. But at least we know that the film is largely done, which that's great. Hopefully this film can make it out in theaters in the next year. We don't know. They want to hit a mass market. They want this film to make money, so it's senseless to release it now when the world is where it is.
There's so many things I want to say about this whole situation. I can understand why they want to postpone, because of what's going on in this pandemic that we're dealing with right now. Basically, they just want everyone to be safe. And I did see Melina's actress Instagram story of the cast returning to Australia or something like. Yeah, I think I've seen Ludi Lens returning to Australia to celebrate his birthday because that's what the film's production is being filmed at in the UK. But regardless, for them to, for it to be delayed, it could either be two things. Good thing that they're trying to make sure that everything goes smoothly and tweaked a few things like he said before. I mean, a few things like he said before. And a bad thing, which means we have to wait until a few years later to actually see the trailer or for the film to be released. And personally, I would rather for them to just release it on streaming platforms like Netflix or even hey, what's the other streaming service they got? It's some kind of website that they're releasing it on. But if it's the right thing to do to just release it on that kind of service, it can save people some justice instead of just going into theaters knowing that they're not allowed to do that in the middle of the pandemic. So yeah, that's my thoughts, and yeah, I'm okay with this time. So hopefully we'll be able to see some behind the scenes photos, videos of them stunt training, and hopefully we'll be able to see, a teaser trailer or a regular trailer of the movie, because I'm still excited for it. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later.